Welcome to Worth Coin. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? Most people would never believe that an ordinary-looking 1987 Lincoln 1-cent coin could spark bidding wars among collectors and turn into one of the most talked-about pennies in modern numismatic history. Somewhere out there, hidden inside an old piggy bank, forgotten coin jar, or dusty drawer, this tiny copper-colored coin may still be waiting to be discovered. And what makes this story even more unbelievable is that experts claim certain rare versions of this coin have reached an astonishing estimated value of up to $87 million. But here's the truly shocking part. The secret behind this coin is something most people overlook every single day. And trust me, before this video ends, you're going to hear about other mysterious pennies that make this story even crazier. So stay with me, because the next coins coming up later are surrounded by secrets collectors desperately want to uncover. The 1987 Lincoln cent was produced at the Philadelphia Mint during a time when billions of pennies flooded American circulation. To the average person, it seemed like just another ordinary coin designed to disappear into cash registers and couch cushions forever. Abraham Lincoln's familiar portrait sat on the front, while the Lincoln Memorial rested quietly on the reverse side. Nothing appeared unusual. Nothing looked rare. But hidden among those billions of coins were a handful of mysterious examples that would later shock the coin collecting world. Some collectors first noticed tiny differences in the lettering. Others claimed strange color tones appeared on a few surviving examples. Then rumors began spreading about unusual strike patterns, off-center details, and coins with surfaces so sharp and reflective they looked almost unreal. At first, many dismissed these stories as exaggerations. But as years passed, the mystery only grew stronger. One of the biggest reasons the 1987 penny became legendary was because of a supposed minting anomaly whispered about by insiders and elite collectors. According to stories shared at coin conventions, a limited batch of 1987 pennies may have been struck using experimental dies never intended for public circulation. These dies allegedly created coins with incredibly sharp details and mirror-like surfaces unlike normal business strike cents. Some experts believe only a tiny number escaped the mint before the mistake was discovered. Imagine being a mint worker in 1987, watching thousands of coins rush through massive machines every minute, unaware that a few rare pieces among them would someday become the center of millionaire-level collector obsession. That possibility alone keeps treasure hunters searching through rolls of pennies to this day. But the mystery deepens even further. A famous story circulated among collectors about a retired mechanic from Pennsylvania who supposedly found a strange-looking 1987 penny in a coffee can filled with spare change. At first glance, the coin looked brighter and sharper than normal. The lettering appeared doubled under magnification, and Lincoln's portrait had an unusual glow. Curious, he brought the coin to a local dealer, who reportedly froze in disbelief after examining it under a microscope. Word spread quickly, and before long, major collectors were contacting the owner privately. Rumors claimed secret offers climbed into the millions. Whether every detail of that story is true or not, one thing is certain. The legend of the 1987 penny exploded after that discovery. Suddenly, people across America started digging through old jars and rolls searching for similar examples. And that's exactly why these coins remain so fascinating today. The possibility that unimaginable wealth could still be hiding in ordinary pocket change creates a level of excitement few collectibles can match. What makes collectors chase this coin so aggressively is the combination of rarity, mystery, and condition. In coin collecting, condition means everything. A heavily worn penny might only be worth face value, but a perfectly preserved example with rare characteristics can become a treasure beyond imagination. Some high-grade 1987 pennies reportedly display razor-sharp edges, flawless surfaces, and intense red coloration that survive decades untouched. Experts often refer to these coins as red gems, and collectors compete fiercely for the finest known examples. But there's another twist. Certain rumors suggest a few 1987 pennies may have been accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchets. Instead of the normal copper-plated zinc composition used during the era, these mysterious coins allegedly appeared on experimental bronze blanks left over from testing. If authentic, such mint errors would instantly transform an ordinary cent into one of the rarest modern coins ever seen. Stories like these fuel endless speculation at auctions and conventions. Collectors spend hours examining tiny details under magnifying lamps, hoping to uncover a hidden fortune everyone else missed. And while many people laugh at the idea of a penny being worth millions, history has repeatedly proven that rare coins can reach unbelievable prices when rarity and demand collide. Over the years, auction houses have witnessed intense bidding battles involving rare Lincoln cents. Wealthy collectors often view these coins as pieces of American history frozen in metal. The 1987 penny became especially famous because its legend blended mystery with possibility. Unlike ancient treasures locked away in museums, these coins may still exist in circulation. That thought alone keeps millions of people searching. Imagine paying for groceries with a coin worth a fortune simply because you never checked the date closely enough. It sounds impossible, yet collectors insist it happens more often than people realize. Some experts believe many valuable coins are unknowingly spent every year because the public simply doesn't recognize what to look for. The hunt itself has become part of the excitement. Families search through inherited jars. Young collectors examine every penny they receive as change. Treasure hunters buy bank rolls hoping to uncover a forgotten rarity. And somewhere among all those ordinary-looking coins could be a life-changing discovery. But here's where things become even more intriguing. Some collectors claim the rarest 1987 pennies reveal subtle signs almost invisible to the naked eye. Tiny doubling on the date, slightly shifted lettering, unusual shine near Lincoln's coat. These details sound small, but in the world of rare coins, tiny differences can mean the difference between 1 cent and millions of dollars. Professional grading services reportedly received waves of submissions from hopeful collectors searching for the next great discovery. Most coins turned out ordinary, but every now and then, whispers emerged about a specimen so extraordinary it reignited the legend all over again. And remember, this is only the beginning because the next coins in this series become even stranger. One upcoming penny has a story so unbelievable that collectors still argue about whether all of its mysterious examples were officially released at all. So keep watching closely, because the secrets behind these coins only grow more shocking from here. The fascination surrounding the 1987 cent also comes from the emotional connection people have with pennies themselves. Pennies are often ignored, tossed aside, or left forgotten in jars for years. Yet stories like this force people to rethink everything they know about money. That tiny coin sitting unnoticed in a drawer could potentially hold extraordinary value. It transforms everyday change into hidden treasure. And psychologically, that idea is irresistible. Everyone dreams about discovering something valuable in the most ordinary place imaginable. That's why videos and stories about rare coins continue capturing millions of views online. People love the idea that fortune might already be sitting inside their homes. Another factor adding to the legend is how difficult it can be to verify rare varieties. Counterfeits, altered coins, and exaggerated rumors spread constantly through the collecting world. This uncertainty creates even more suspense. Every time someone claims to have found a rare 1987 penny, debates erupt among collectors. Is it genuine? Could it be one of the legendary error coins? Or is it simply another ordinary cent mistaken for something rare? The mystery itself keeps the excitement alive year after year. And perhaps that's the greatest power of this coin. It inspires endless searching, endless speculation, and endless hope. Even people who never cared about coins suddenly start checking dates after hearing stories like this. Somewhere out there, someone may unknowingly own one of the rarest modern pennies ever produced. Maybe it's sitting in an old wallet. Maybe it's trapped between couch cushions. Maybe it's already passed through thousands of hands unnoticed. The possibility alone is enough to keep collectors obsessed. But as incredible as the 1987 penny story may sound, it's only the first chapter in a much larger mystery. Because coming next is another Lincoln cent surrounded by rumors, hidden errors, and astonishing collector demand that could completely change the way you look at your spare change forever. And trust me, when you hear the story behind the next coin, you may never spend another penny again without checking the date first. Next, 1995 1 cent. Have you ever checked your coins carefully? One of them could be hiding a fortune in plain sight, and the 1995 Lincoln 1 cent is the perfect example of why collectors never stop searching through pocket change. At first glance, this coin looks completely ordinary, just another penny passed around in stores, dropped into jars, or forgotten under car seats for decades. But beneath its simple appearance hides one of the most mysterious stories in modern coin collecting history. Because according to collectors and auction rumors, certain rare versions of the 1995 penny have been linked to values reaching an astonishing $95 million. Yes, a single cent potentially worth more than luxury mansions, exotic cars, and private islands combined. And what makes this story even crazier is that most people who come across this coin would spend it instantly without ever realizing what they had. But stay with me, because before this story ends, another unbelievable penny is waiting in the shadows, and its mystery may be even more shocking than this one. The year 1995 was a fascinating period for Lincoln cents. The Philadelphia Mint was producing enormous quantities of pennies for circulation across the United States, and billions of coins poured into everyday commerce. To most Americans, pennies were almost invisible, useful for exact change, but rarely worth attention. Yet hidden among the ordinary coins were a handful of strange examples that immediately caught the attention of serious collectors. What first triggered excitement around the 1995 penny was the appearance of unusual doubling on some coins. Collectors examining pennies under magnification noticed strange distortions in the lettering, especially in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Unlike ordinary wear or damage, these details appeared to come directly from the minting process itself. This phenomenon became known among collectors as a dramatic double die effect, and suddenly the 1995 penny transformed from common pocket change into a national treasure hunt. Stories spread rapidly through coin shops, conventions, and collector magazines. People everywhere began searching their pennies, hoping to discover one of the mysterious doubled examples. But then rumors became even stranger. Some collectors claimed a tiny number of 1995 pennies displayed details far more dramatic than the officially recognized varieties. These coins allegedly featured unusually bold doubling, razor-sharp strikes, and surfaces so reflective they resembled proof coins never intended for circulation. Whispers emerged suggesting that experimental dies, or improperly prepared equipment may have accidentally created a handful of ultra-rare coins before mint officials noticed the mistake. If true, these pennies would instantly become legendary among collectors. One particularly famous story involves a grocery store cashier who reportedly noticed an odd-looking 1995 penny while counting change late one evening. The letters appeared strangely doubled, and Lincoln's portrait looked unusually sharp compared to normal pennies. Curious, the cashier saved the coin and later brought it to a local coin dealer. According to collector rumors, the dealer nearly dropped the coin after examining it under magnification. Word spread quietly among high-level buyers, and within weeks private offers allegedly began climbing into staggering territory. Whether every part of that story is true remains uncertain, but tales like these only intensified the coin's reputation. Suddenly, the 1995 p-cent wasn't just a collectible. It became a symbol of hidden fortune hiding in everyday life. And that's exactly why collectors remain obsessed with it today. Unlike ancient treasures buried underground or locked inside museums, this coin may still exist in circulation, quietly passing from hand to hand unnoticed. The thought that unimaginable wealth could be hiding inside ordinary spare change creates a level of suspense few collectibles can match. Families started opening forgotten piggy banks. Bankroll hunters searched thousands of pennies at a time. Some people even began checking coins on the floors of parking lots and vending machines. Because all it takes is one extraordinary discovery to change everything forever. The double die mystery surrounding the 1995 p-penny became especially important because true mint errors are incredibly difficult to fake convincingly. Genuine double dies occur during the die creation process itself, meaning every coin struck by that die carries the same unusual features. Collectors study these details obsessively. Tiny shifts in lettering, slightly separated numbers in the date, distinct shadows around Lincoln's profile. To the average person, these details may seem insignificant, but to serious numismatists, they can mean the difference between 1 cent and a life-changing fortune. And then came another layer of mystery. Some experts began speculating that a few 1995 p-pennies may have been struck on incorrect planchets or experimental metal compositions. While no official confirmation ever fully settled the rumors, stories circulated about pennies with strange weight differences, unusual colors, or metallic tones unlike standard circulation coins. Imagine discovering a penny that not only carried a famous double die error, but was also struck on an experimental blank never intended to leave the mint. In the collecting world, combinations like that can create unimaginable demand. Wealthy collectors compete fiercely for unique coins because true rarities can never be duplicated. Once the rarest examples disappear into private collections, they may never surface again for generations. Auction excitement only fueled the legend further. Whenever high-grade 1995 double die pennies appeared publicly, bidding wars erupted. Collectors viewed them as modern treasures, proof that valuable discoveries still exist in everyday circulation. Some pristine examples reportedly sold for shocking amounts simply because of their condition and rarity. Coins graded with flawless red surfaces became especially desirable. Experts often describe these as time capsule coins, pieces preserved so perfectly they appear almost untouched since leaving the mint decades ago. And here's the part that fascinates people the most. Many valuable coins are still believed to remain undiscovered. Somewhere out there, hidden in old jars, inherited collections, or forgotten drawers, another extraordinary 1995 p-penny could still be waiting. That possibility keeps collectors searching endlessly. It transforms ordinary spare change into a potential treasure map. Most people never look twice at pennies, and that's exactly why rare coins continue slipping unnoticed through circulation year after year. But for experienced collectors, every penny carries possibility. Every date matters. Every tiny detail could reveal something extraordinary. And the emotional power behind that idea is enormous. Imagine realizing the coin you almost spent on a soda was actually worth millions. Stories like this tap directly into the dream of sudden discovery, the hope that life-changing fortune might already exist within reach. That's why the 1995 penny continues capturing attention across the collecting world decades after its release. Yet, even with all its mystery, this coin may not be the most unbelievable one in this lineup. Because the next penny waiting ahead carries a story so shocking that some collectors refuse to believe the full truth has ever been revealed publicly. There are whispers of secret minting anomalies, hidden collector battles, and discoveries that left experts speechless. So before you stop watching, remember this. The next coin may completely change the way you see Lincoln cents forever. And somewhere tonight, someone could unknowingly have one sitting quietly in their pocket right now. Next 1951 cent, it looks like any other penny, but appearances are deceiving. The 1950 Lincoln 1 cent has become one of the most mysterious coins ever whispered about among collectors, treasure hunters, and auction insiders. To most people, it's simply an old wheat penny from the middle of the 20th century, the kind of coin you might find buried in a forgotten drawer or mixed inside a dusty jar inherited from grandparents. But hidden beneath that ordinary appearance lies a story filled with rare minting secrets, rumored errors, and staggering collector demand that has pushed certain versions of this coin into the realm of unbelievable fortune. Some reports and collector legends claim ultra-rare examples connected to the 1950 penny have reached values as high as $79 million, turning a humble cent into one of the most talked-about coins in American collecting history. And the strangest part of all is that many people may still own one without even realizing it. Before this story ends, you'll understand why experienced collectors inspect every wheat penny they see with almost obsessive attention. Because this tiny piece of copper has become far more than just spare change. It has become a symbol of hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. The year 1950 was an interesting moment in American coin production. The United States had emerged from the shadow of World War II. Industry was booming, and the Lincoln wheat cent remained one of the most recognizable coins in circulation. Millions upon millions of pennies rolled out of minting presses that year, entering everyday commerce across the country. People used them for groceries, bus fares, candy, and newspaper stands without a second thought. Yet somewhere among those countless ordinary coins, a handful of mysterious examples would later ignite intense collector fascination. The Lincoln wheat design itself already carried emotional weight. On the front stood Abraham Lincoln, one of America's most respected presidents, while the reverse displayed the iconic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent. For many collectors, wheat pennies represent a golden era of American coinage. But the 1950 issue became legendary for reasons no one expected. One of the earliest rumors surrounding the 1950 penny involved unusual strike quality seen on a small group of coins. Collectors noticed that some examples displayed remarkably sharp details far beyond normal circulation standards. Lincoln's hair appeared unusually crisp. The wheat stalks on the reverse looked deeply defined. The lettering seemed almost sculpted into the surface. At first, experts believed these were simply exceptionally preserved coins. But then additional stories emerged suggesting something far stranger may have happened inside the mint during production. According to long-standing collector rumors, a limited number of experimental dies may have accidentally been used during a brief production run in 1950. These dies allegedly produced coins with stronger strikes, mirrored surfaces, and microscopic doubling effects nearly invisible without magnification. If authentic, such coins would represent one of the most extraordinary accidental releases in Lincoln cent history. Stories about these mysterious pennies spread quietly among collectors for decades. Unlike heavily publicized modern coin discoveries, many details remained hidden within private circles, adding even more intrigue to the coin's reputation. Some collectors became convinced that only a tiny number of these rare examples escaped into circulation before mint officials corrected the issue. And because pennies circulated heavily during the 1950s and 1960s, many rare pieces may have been lost, damaged, or spent unknowingly over the years. That possibility only intensified the haunt. One famous story often repeated at coin conventions involves a retired schoolteacher who inherited a cigar box filled with wheat pennies from her father. Most of the coins were common and worn, but one 1950 cent immediately caught her attention because of its unusual shine and razor-sharp details. Curious, she brought the coin to a regional coin show where dealers reportedly became stunned after closer examination. Rumors claimed the coin displayed dramatic doubling around the lettering combined with a nearly flawless strike unlike ordinary circulation pieces. Private collectors allegedly competed aggressively to acquire it, and whispers spread that offers climbed into the millions. Whether every detail of that story can be confirmed or not, tales like these transformed the 1950 penny into a collector obsession. Suddenly, old jars of wheat cents became potential treasure chests. Families searched through inherited collections with renewed excitement. Bankroll hunters began studying dates more carefully than ever before. And somewhere out there, another extraordinary 1950 penny may still be hiding unnoticed among ordinary coins. What makes the 1950 cent especially fascinating is the emotional connection people have with old wheat pennies themselves. Unlike modern coins, wheat cents feel historical. They carry the atmosphere of another era, a time of black and white television, soda fountains, jukeboxes, and post-war America. Holding one feels like touching a small piece of history. But when that historical object also carries the possibility of immense value, the excitement becomes irresistible. Collectors are not just chasing money. They are chasing discovery, mystery, and the dream of uncovering something extraordinary hidden in plain sight. Another factor fueling the legend is the possibility of rare mint errors connected to the coin. Some collectors claim to have discovered off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and subtle double dies among certain 1950 pennies. Others speak of unusual metal compositions or strange coloration suggesting experimental blanks may have accidentally entered production. While many stories remain debated, the uncertainty itself keeps interest alive. Every newly discovered example sparks fresh speculation. Could this be one of the legendary rare varieties? Could another unknown error still exist waiting to be found? That suspense is exactly what keeps collectors searching year after year. And unlike treasures locked away in museums, pennies are accessible. Anyone can search for them. Anyone can stumble upon a rare discovery completely by accident. Imagine opening an old coin jar tonight and finding a penny capable of changing your financial future forever. That possibility is what makes stories like this so powerful. Auction history only intensified the fascination surrounding high-grade 1950 wheat cents. Collectors place enormous importance on preservation, and the finest known examples command incredible attention. Coins with blazing original red color, flawless surfaces, and exceptional strike quality often attract fierce bidding wars. Wealthy collectors compete aggressively because the rarest coins become status symbols as much as historical artifacts. Owning one of the finest 1950 cents means owning a piece of numismatic legend. But perhaps the greatest mystery of all is how many remain undiscovered. Experts believe countless valuable coins still sit unnoticed in attics, basements, old albums, and inherited collections across America. Most people never examine pennies carefully enough to recognize rare features. Tiny details like doubled lettering, unusual strike sharpness, or strange surface texture can easily go unnoticed. And that's exactly why valuable coins continue slipping through circulation and hiding in plain sight. Somewhere right now, someone may unknowingly possess a fortune disguised as an ordinary wheat penny. The 1950 Lincoln cent proves that extraordinary value can hide inside the most ordinary objects imaginable. It reminds people that history, rarity, and mystery sometimes combine in ways capable of transforming a single coin into a treasure beyond belief. And even after decades of searching, the legend continues growing because every new discovery renews hope that another life-changing penny may still be waiting out there. So before you spend your next old coin without checking carefully, remember this story. Because the difference between an ordinary cent and a legendary rarity may come down to details so small most people never even notice them at all.